much can we expect of other people? And let me just give a little bit of background as to what I'm talking about. So there's two sides of this story for me. One is that I am of the opinion that if I'm expecting things of people that they're not capable of giving, then my expectations are too high. So I've sort of trained myself to just let people be, let people do their own thing, and not expect too much of them. And then I heard a TikTok from a coach that was saying, if you consider yourself low maintenance, it's not because you're super chill or easygoing. It's because you've been conditioned to expect less.
I see big bites in that one. One of them is setting expectations. Can we expect things of other people who just cannot, will not, refuse to meet those expectations? That's the first thing. So is it a pathology that they can't meet the expectation, or are they just not wanting to be in a relationship with us the way we want? Number two is setting our own boundaries. And that is, what do we do if someone fails to meet our expectations for whatever reason? Where are our own boundaries on that? The question you're asking is, what do we do when people fail to meet our expectations for whatever reason? Because we have no control over them meeting our expectations or not. As long as we've communicated them clearly, they will or they won't. And our response to that is the question.
So let's talk about that. I have some friends who complain about the things that people in their lives do that are just frustrating, expectations that they have for those people that those are not being met. And what, as we all do, you know, and this is what girlfriends are for. This is why we have girlfriends, so that we can get on the phone and bitch about the people who are not rising to our expectations. And at the same time, I sometimes want to say, but if you keep expecting them to do the same thing and they consistently fail to provide that, at some point you have to stop expecting it, because they've been very, very clear that they are not going to provide that for you.
So let's go a little bit meta and say, are you expecting more from your friends than is reasonable to expect? You're expecting them to have the strength
Yes.
to either stop complaining about it or to do something about it. And maybe that expectation is not realistic and certainly not being met.
I think you're right. I think yes, because I want them to move into a place where that doesn't bother them so much. And it bothers me so much that it bothers them so much.
Who's being bothered more at this point?
Well, they're being bothered more. I usually just let it go, because I've tried to point out the realities that they're living in, and they don't want to hear it. So it's like, I'm just going to stop doing that, because it's not what it's not what they come to me for. They come to me to have a sounding board to be like, what? And I'm perfectly happy to be that person.
Yeah. Are you?
What?
Are you happy to be that person? Because you're not happy talking about this. I don't feel like this is a happy conversation that you're having about how much you're suffering for your friend.
Okay, if I'm being really completely, totally honest about it, the problem isn't as much that I'm suffering for my friend. The problem is that them not having moved past it triggers how many years I didn't move past it in my own relationship.
I think we have a winner.
And now that I've done the work and I've moved past it, I want them to come with me. It's happier on this other side. And it feels like getting dragged back into those old patterns of dysfunctional relationship each time that I'm having those conversations with people. So you're right. I mean, this is a totally a me problem. But that's why and then that's ultimately my question. How much can we expect of other people? And is it okay to expect more of them, or do we have to just let them do them?
You're not going to like the answer that I have. So I'll preface this by saying that you're in a very healthy place right now. You have gone through so much work and growth and reading and thinking and suffering. You're so far past being low maintenance. right? Nobody's low maintenance. They are low expectation, right? Or low self-worth, whatever we want to call it. You're so far past that and you've made it past that. So I think there are two things going on. One, yes, of course you want that for your friend, but I think that also contradicts if you're just being there to support your friend. And two, you still feel this connection like you're the one stuck for a very, very long time just because you were there, but you're not now,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is good news.
Okay, so then let's talk about the flip side of that, which is if I am no longer the low maintenance, then how do I set boundaries in a way that does place expectations on other people that are good and healthy and hold them accountable rather than being a doormat who just lets everybody do whatever they're going to do. So I don't feel like a doormat anymore, but I am still struggling to just say, you know what? Like, I'm going to go into the Jiffy Lube and I need air in my tires. And then they say that they put air in my tires, and I can literally see that they didn't put air in my tires. And to be able to say, no, my expectation is that I came in here and I'm paying you for a service and I expect you to provide the service for me. So that's a new skill for me. That's a new muscle. It's getting kind of worked out. It's a little bit atrophied. So that muscle, that brain muscle is still in its infancy, but that's kind of part of the question is, okay, so then where is that, like, where do we cross from healthy boundaries and expectations of people into like just stop?
So when we set an expectation on someone else, because we've come to an agreement with them and they understood what was expected and they decide, yes, I'm going to do that for you, and then they don't, that's a different situation than I hope this for you and I hope this for our relationship, and yet you're failing to meet that. Like the guy in the Jiffy Lube, you came to an agreement, you paid him to do this, he didn't do this. I think it's very, very clear that he's on the wrong side of the expectation. If you're talking about a friend who you wish would take action on their situation, that's not an agreement that they have ever come to. And I think that's more of a case by case where they are in their life and what they're willing to do, what they're capable of doing in the moment.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That I think that's the key. Was this an agreement? Are we in agreement on what that expectation is?
Yes. Yes, and saying it out loud to someone else is not them agreeing to it.
The way that I was conditioned not to expect anything of a person that I thought that we were in an agreement about was at any time that I set an expectation and then the expectation was agreed to and then it was not met, then I was the problem because I expected too much. I was too high maintenance, I was too needy. And so I really did just learn to just expect nothing of other people at all. And maybe this is part of the problem is that now I'm becoming healthier and finding it harder and harder to just kind of sit in that same exact space with my friends over and over and over again.
How well do you express what you would like for them? I think it's not fair of us to set an expectation that someone else do something with another person in their relationship, because that's really not our business. It's not. If, let's say, with your friend who's not in a good situation, your expectation could be, I will sit and listen to you. I'm not going to give advice because I know you're not going to take it, and I don't know where you are in your life and your situation. So your expectation could be, I'm just going to listen to you, and I wish for you, and I will share with you my knowledge, and that's it. And I feel like that expectation definitely could be met, because then they would just talk to you and understand that that's as much as you're willing to give because of where you are, and that's a good boundary to have. I think otherwise, if you're setting an expectation with someone and you've identified it clearly, this is my question to you. How well do you feel you set, not within your marriage, let's take that off the table because that was just not right. How well do you feel you set clear expectations of other people?
1 out of 10.
Okay. Okay. Great. Well, I think it's pretty reasonable that 9 out of 10 of those people are going to fail frequently to meet an expectation that they're not aware of. Maybe we came up with this upbringing of, this is what we need to do for everybody else, and therefore everybody will just understand automatically that that's what they need to do for us. And I think that's not true. First of all, we don't owe everybody else everything. Second of all, everybody else doesn't owe us everything.
I'm not sure how to communicate expectations to friends. I mean, it's a clear expectation when I go into Jiffy Lube.
Right. An agreement.
That's pretty clear. I don't even have to say it. Like they know when I come in what I'm there for. Communicating that to other people in my life is really a challenge. That's really a challenge.
So let's talk about our mother because I feel like I'm not there with you guys, but I feel like that relationship is a really healthy one. And she's able to
Yeah.
set clear expectations for you. She wants her sweater stretched out. And I feel like you're using this relationship as an opportunity to be better at defining your expectations of her. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I don't have very many expectations of her because I'm so grateful just to have her in my life right now. So I don't expect a lot. I probably could expect more, but I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, I say she's doing everything she
But
should be
yes,
doing. She's being mom, which is amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
well,
And also, I think that I think that watching her just speak her truth is a model for me in how I could learn how to communicate those expectations.
maybe that's why it looks so healthy to me, is that she's very good at it.
Good
What
at
about
it.
your sister? What kind of expectations do you have of your sister, and how have you articulated those?
I don't know that I have articulated any expectations of my sister. Um, I don't really expect the things that I expect of you are already being met and I don't have to communicate them.
So that was not a fair example because you and I think so similarly, and we talk so often that it probably comes out in our conversation,
Yeah.
even if it's not a Kimberly, I need this from you. We don't really need to talk like that. Okay, two not so good examples.
No.
Who else? Name another person in your life who you feel like you have a healthy relationship and you're able to express your expectations of them.
Healthy relationship that I can express expectations of. Okay. My daughter. I would say that's a healthy relationship. And I do express my expectations. That's an entire lifetime of being her mom, though. So I do have like a long history of expecting things of her as I'm raising her to be a young adult and an adult in the world. So I probably could expect more than I do. I could probably ask for more than I do. She's also pretty low maintenance in terms of just her physical presence in the apartment. There's just not a lot that I need from her. And the few things that I do, she's right there.
He really does step up. So, okay, we're going
Yeah. But again, that's another person who knows me really well
right.
and knows what I expect and knows what I need, and I don't have to communicate that very well.
So let's look
I've
for
always struggled with that with friends. I've always struggled to communicate needs with friends because I feel like I'm there to support them and to be a supportive presence for them. So it's very hard for me to place an expectation on them because I don't want the relationship to be one where I need them for things when I feel like I should be there to support them in things.
we've taken a shift to using expectations and needs interchangeably, and I think that's not the case.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like an
that's fair.
expectation is something you want them to do. A need is more things things that you need to have done that you want them to do for you.
I think also I could have an expectation that someone in my life behaves a particular way
Yes.
toward me.
Yes.
So even if it's not doing something for me, I would expect them to speak to me with a certain tone or not, or at least not speak to me with certain tones. And then if that was not met, it would be glaringly obvious to me.
Can you think of an example of someone in your life who's not your family, because your family is very knowledgeable of you, who you have an expectation of outside of an agreement, like the Jiffy Lube guy? Outside of an agreement, do you have any expectations of people that you have yet to be able to articulate that you feel are still unacknowledged? You work with a lot of people around your son. There are people that you interact with, his doctors, his teachers.
Yeah, but I do have very clear expectations of those people.
Tell me about that.
So even with his teachers, we have contracts, literally contracts written up about the things that I expect for them to do. And also, I don't like nitpick them on this contract because I want them to be more in the vibe or the spirit of the forward motion instead of like nitpicking it. Well, you didn't do the, number 3C here, because I just don't think that that's going to be a useful tool
And you're happy with
moving
that. You're
forward.
happy with that kind of trust in them, that you don't need to set expectations, that number 3C is a priority to you.
Okay, so if 3C was a priority, I would probably want to communicate that. I'm just saying I wouldn't go through and nitpick the things that they have and haven't done. I don't know. My head is spinning a little bit on this one, but I think that there are times when I wish that I could ask for more.
You want to practice? Ask me for something.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You sure? You sure you want me to ask you of a
Yes.
thing? Okay. If you are liking the content, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're listening on an audio platform, please give us a 5-star rating. It really helps the algorithm. Thank you. Are you sure?
Yes.
You sure? You sure you want me to ask you of a
Yes.
thing? Okay. I would love if at some point in the future, if you would consider, see, this is how good at this I am, taking on the responsibility for posting to socials.
Okay, that's fantastic. Try it again a little. Let's cut the gristle off the sides. I mean,
Okay.
that had at least 3 qualifiers. Try without the qualifiers.
It absolutely does, because I don't want to place on you an expectation for this, because I'm not mad about that I'm doing them right now. It's just not a problem for me. It's just something that I would desire down the future, down the road. That would be one of the things I wouldn't mind having taken off my plate.
Why would I possibly be
I
mad
guess I
about
don't
that?
feel like I don't know. I don't Okay, let me try.
Okay.
I'm gonna try
Okay.
again. When we get to a point where you have that, see, that was my qualifier again. Okay. Shit. Do you think that you could build in some time to post to socials?
That's a fantastic idea. It's gonna be a learning curve, and I've got some stuff to do for LMA right now, but inside of all of that, yes, I would love to help with that.
And already I'm like, but don't let it get in the way of the LMA, because that's really important for you. And that's, I'm trying to preemptively care for your time and space.
I don't think that setting this expectation is in conflict with caring for my time and space. So I have this very, very old friend who says stupid things all the time. Just it's common knowledge. And so we established this rule: run through the filter. And just take it and run it through the filter, and okay, how is that going to sound coming out? And I feel like your running through the filter would be, is this going to sound apologetic? Is it going to sound like it's begging instead of setting an expectation? Is this going to sound qualified? Is this going to take my argument and cut it in half? Maybe that's a filter that we could all use. Run it through the filter and not say it out loud if it weakens your argument, weakens your position, if it's not really what you want to say, if it's apologetic, if it's qualifying. That's what I mean, is to take those things, run them like you're going to say them, and then say, okay, I'm not going to say
Like
that.
an editing program.
Exactly. And I know you're good at editing.
Like edit.
Edit. And it's not
Why
easy.
is that hard? Why?
Jinx. Yeah.
What? Why? Why is it so hard just to say, "Hey, do you think you could?" I know why. I know why. I don't
Yeah,
need
I
to.
know why too. How long were you married?
Makes me so sad. 30 years.
Okay. You've just
Too long.
gotten out of that, so Look at all the great stuff ahead of you.
Damn. Man, that's really frustrating. It's really frustrating that I have lost my ability to simply ask for what I need or to state an expectation that I have of another person.
Well, you didn't lose it. It's there.
It's atrophied and I'm working on it. I'm working to build that muscle up again.
Yeah, let's take it and let's rub off all the grime and then you have this beautiful ability to speak for what you'd like.
I wonder if I could practice asking people for things in the similar way that I would ask my daughter, because I feel like that's the healthiest way that I communicate, because I'm not mean to her. I don't tell her she has to this and that. I don't speak at her, but I am so comfortable with her in my space that I don't feel like I have to put all the qualifiers on when I'm about to ask a thing.
What concerns you that makes you want to add the qualifiers?
That I am taking up more space than has been allotted in the agreement in the relationship. That I'm taking more than I deserve.
Is that true? That you are taking more than you deserve?
Probably not. Probably not true. I'm gonna have to sit with that one for a while.
I would vote probably not true. You don't take up a ton of space.
Okay.
Let me take that back. You take up a ton of space in my world. Tons.
Same. What would I do? What would I do with my life if I didn't have you occupying that space in my life?
Oh,
Like my life would be so,
that's a
right?
whole different
Like
conversation because I don't feel like you take up space in my life. I feel like you are such a big part of my life. It's not the same thing at all. Being a big part of my life just gets bigger. It's not like here's my limited amount of energy,
okay,
time, and love, and you got the big part of it. That's not the way it is. So here's my life, and then you're in it, and it's that much better and that much bigger.
thank you. I may or may not ever post
Yeah,
that,
no, I totally, yeah,
but um yeah, I think this is work that I need to do. I'm really struggling with my friendships right now
I understand.
because they just are in such different places than me. And I'm like terrified to just be like, you know what, we could use some space. I don't want to do that to people. Like I feel like I owe people for the amount of time and space I've taken up in their life already. And that if I were to start backing off on my time and space, that I would be like stealing from them.
Yeah.
Like I owe them this, I owe them my time and space, or like I owe them my attention. And if I take my attention away, I feel like I've stolen the time that they gave me attention.
I think there's a middle ground though between, you know, I'm not feeling good around you. I don't want to spend any more time with you. That's harsh. Then that's really not what you're saying.
That's
That's
not
one
what
end
I'm
of the
saying,
spectrum.
but
On the
yeah.
other end is just, I'm sorry, I can't today. Let's talk in a week, or let's get together in a week or in a month. But I think one of the keys to that is you've been talking for a long time about expanding your friend group, like having the dog party in the spring, but have a dog party in the winter.
Yeah, I'm dragging my feet on it because it's such a big scary thing to open myself up to more people. Like my life right now, as far as my relationships, is so tiny and cozy and safe. And it's getting too small. It's getting too cozy in here. And so I need to expand that. And at the same time, it doesn't feel safe at
Is
all.
the bigger fear that you will find people that you really like and you have to spend time with them and go into their houses and stuff? Or is the fear that you will find more people that you really don't want to spend time with and feel obliged to them?
My fear is I will find people I want to spend time with, and then when I don't spend time with them, I will feel guilty about it
If you want to spend time with them, why wouldn't you spend time with them?
because that's how I roll.
Okay, great. I feel like
Because like there's times when that like I really really want to go and do XYZ with you, but then when the day comes and XYZ is in front of me, it's like I don't want to go do that because it's so much social energy and so much just like spiritual energy that staying home sounds so much better.
yeah, I totally hear you, but you are also saying that your coziness is getting too small. And I feel like so the beginning of a friendship is always hard. You have to invest in the spending time together when you're not really knowing each other very well. But it's like getting to know someone is really fun too. You get to talk about yourself, you get to learn what your commonalities are, where you disagree. That's fun, but it's also a lot of energy. But once you get past that, then you have this friendship where you actually do want to go do something with them. Find people who are available during the day. So I also feel like I was going to say, I feel like expectations can be set what you expect of them and what you expect yourself to be able to give. If you're early in a friendship and you say, I don't like when people come over to my house and they clip their nails on my couch, no, I'm not going to invite you to do that. I think that's more than reasonable, or whatever the situation might be. I don't like going out after 7. It's dark. I want to put my son to bed. So in this friendship, I want to spend time with you, but I'm not going to be out after 7. Whatever. That's reasonable. That's expectation setting.
I could do that.
You could totally do that, especially with these people you don't even know them. I've seen you do things that are much more difficult than that.
Yeah, I don't know why this one is feeling so monumentally challenging. Because it's not that I don't know where to find people. There's people everywhere.
Yeah. Especially right now in Minnesota, where Minneapolis, people are just wanting to come together as a community. People who are like-minded with
Yeah,
you.
for sure. There's also the fear of rejection. You know, put myself out there and then people decide that that I'm not for them, and then I have to like just sit with that like, okay. I think I'm cool. If they don't think I'm cool, it's okay if they don't think I'm cool because I do.
So
No, they don't sound convincing.
nobody is for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know that. I get that. It's just it's that the fear of rejection is it's just a big real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a real thing.
It is a real thing. Years ago, you and your daughter went out to collect no's. So ask for a discount at the shoe store. No. Okay, we got one. We got one. I think you could approach it like that. You go out there approaching, how many people can I get to reject my friendship? You count them up like successes.
Now that I could do. That I could do. Because then I wouldn't feel like each no is a big rejection. It's one in the tick boxes. Okay.
You're closer to that really good friend you're going to get, or those 5 really good friends you're going to get.
Man.
Every time you get a rejection,
Okay.
which isn't going to happen that much with people who you really want to hang out with, to be honest. Every rejection is one step closer to that group of close friends.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You have
Thank
a
you.
lot of people in your corner cheering you on, too.
Thank you. I know I do. I have important people cheering me on.
Thank you. Maybe there are subscribers who are in Minnesota who are like, I love what you're saying. Can I hang out with you?
Would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's the middle of February. Maybe I will shoot for by the middle of March, I will do something that would. So last year I did this. I went and ran for the school board,
Mhm.
and I met a ton of really cool people. And all of those people are too busy for me. They're too busy to they're not they're too busy to add me to their life. And the reason I know this is because I did reach out a couple of times and like, "Hey, do you wanna?" And kind of got like, "Yeah, I'd love to sometime," and then never really materialized into anything. So I was like, "Okay, I can just keep plugging forward with some of those folks, or I can start again, but it feels like starting again, you know? Pick myself up, march myself up to the next starting line and go."
Yeah, have fun.
Doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, you got to pick people who are not sort
Doesn't
of
sound fun at all.
hyper cortisol addicted. I got to do everything every day kind of people. So I've found in
Yeah.
friendships that it does require time together in the beginning. It does.
And I mean, and maybe that's part of my hesitation too, is that I am currently finding myself with very little time during the day.
Okay, so
Once my kid goes to bed, I've got all the time in the world,
but you're not
but
going
it's
out.
me time. And so that's when I want to be like, you go to bed, and then I'm going to take my time to scroll and to do my Duolingo and all the things.
Once I take over
Yeah.
the socials, you'll have a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Kiwi says if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.